And then we got two basic, more further questions. I mean, I could talk to you about this forever, but two simple questions. The first one is by the famous poster Fishhead. He asks, are U.S. citizens actually required to file an FABR on their taxes if they have over $10,000 total in offshore gaming accounts? Yes or no?
Okay, and the question is, there's a federal law that says if you have money in an overseas bank account,
right,
you have to tell the federal government about it.
Right.
And I think you probably do. On the other hand, it's a technicality, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to actually do that. The other interesting question, actually, since they seized the money from these poker sites, they're now treating the players as if they were just general creditors. Mm-hmm. They're just people who are owed money. Not that it actually was their money anymore
right,
in an overseas account. So you might be able to make the argument, in fact, you don't have money overseas anymore.
Right.
It's all held by the operator, and they simply owe you the money. It's not your bank account anymore. You remember how it used to be when this started, 15 years ago, you literally had to open a separate bank account
mm-hmm,
in like Antigua, and then the money from that bank account would be transferred to the Sportsbook in Antigua. Well, that doesn't go on anymore. Now you give your money to the operator. So it's very possible that you could say, I don't have a bank account in another country. I have given money to an operator, and he owes me the money, and I don't have to file anything because he simply owes me money, and it's just a debt.
All right, and then let's get into finally the politics of all this, because people on the forum like to go back and forth. Some people blame Republicans. A lot of people actually blame the Democrats now because they say, well, Obama's the president and the Department of Justice is under his watch, and they're the ones who are prosecuting all this stuff. So what do you think? Who's to blame, the Democrats or Republicans? And then a second question related is, what does he think the real reasons for opposition in the Congress to gambling are? Congressional leaders' opposition, like Baucus and his opposition, is it money-driven or just puritanical, biblically-driven opposition?
Probably the most important thing to remember is that almost nobody at the state or federal level knows anything about gambling or cares about it.
Right.
So it's such a low priority that a lot of craziness can happen.
Yeah.
And it's not like they really are in favor or opposed. They don't care.
Right.
And if you're, and so in general, they're opposed because they don't know what it is. In terms of the prosecutions, certainly Obama is much, much better than Bush. On the other hand, the U.S. attorneys are very independent. So you can get some kind of a rogue U.S. attorney in Maryland or Delaware, Maryland I guess it was, who can simply decide to go after operators on his own and not even tell the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. what he's doing. It's still a low priority. They don't care about it. They're simply building one case based on the last case. In terms of the politics, that's fairly easy. The Democrats have extremely weak leadership in the Senate. Harry Reid couldn't get things through even when he had a veto, a filibuster-proof 60 votes. Obama lives his life making deals, not challenging people. The Republicans have been taken over by completely crazy right-wing ideologues, which can be good or bad, by the way. The conservatives who are willing, for example, for the United States to go bankrupt rather than, like raise taxes on oil companies, the fiscal conservatives like gambling. They see it as a painless tax, and they're in favor of it. They think gambling's fine. It's the social conservatives, the one who think that the government should be in the wedding chapel, the bedroom, and the doctor's office, particularly if you're a woman, who say you should have to believe what we believe. You have to literally have our religion, and if their religion happens to be against gambling, then you're never going to get gambling.
Right.
As a practical matter, the Republicans have figured out that the way to defeat Obama and the Democrats in 2012 is to have nothing happen.
Right.
No bill can get through either house of Congress. It's actually good if the economy is in a recession. I mean, it worked. Obama won in 2008. So if the unemployment is at 15% in 2012, that means the Republicans can win. So they think it's great if the economy goes down, if absolutely nothing happens. So we will absolutely never get a bill dealing with internet gambling out of the Republican-controlled House of Representatives unless the election of 2012 brings the Democrats back to power.
All right, and actually, I skipped one more question, which is actually an important one, but it's a simple one, and it was posed by SBR John, the owner of the site. Are portals safe to give away sportsbook free plays for contests? What do you think about that?
Say it again, I missed it.
Are portals, like a site like SBR, safe to give away sportsbook free plays for contests?
It's actually it's complicated, but if something is 100% free, then it's not gambling.
Right.
But if you are seen as helping an illegal gambling site, then you've got three big potential legal problems. One is aiding and abetting, which makes you guilty of the crime itself. So if you're helping, aiding and abetting someone to take sports bets from the U.S. and taking sports bets from the U.S. is illegal, then you're violating that law, like the Wire Act.
Right.
Second possibility is conspiracy, which is a separate crime. So agreeing to work with somebody who's breaking the law is a felony. And the third is there actually are some crimes out there, like the Federal Illegal Gambling Businesses Act, that says 5 or more people who violate state laws, it's a federal felony. And they had even once got a janitor who was working at an underground casino and charged him with being part of this illegal gambling business.
Wow.
So you would need to know. I'd need to know a lot more before I could say it's okay. It's free, which is good, but if it's helping somebody who's violating the law, then it's bad.
Right. I got you. I think that answers for us. Well, I could ask you a million other questions, but I guess I'll have to let you go now. Thanks so much, Professor I. Nelson Rose. His website is gamblingandthelaw.com. Check it out if you want to know more about any of these topics. Thanks so much.
Great.
Nelson.
Always fun to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Thanks very much.